guys, and welcome back to the Essence of Me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please do remember to give this video a thumbs up, guys, and please do turn your bell notification on so you can be alerted whenever I upload videos. And just as a reminder, I usually upload videos every other day. Sometimes if I can, I'll do a video every day, but more than likely it's every other day. So once again, guys, just turn that bell notification on so you will never miss a video from me. So today, guys, I'm going to be looking at on the whole gun licensing, and also I'm going to be giving my thoughts on three issues, two related, one a bit independent from those two. One being the whole gun licensing in Jamaica. Am I for gun ownership? And two, the whole refusal of a gun license if you have committed any domestic abuse towards your spouse. And three, suicide, the suicide watch and the suicide situation where children are concerned. So guys, those are the topics, those are the things that I'll be highlighting today. Let's get into the video. So first off, what are my thoughts on gun licensing? As in, what are my thoughts on someone owning a gun? What do I think? Personally, I don't have an issue with someone being licensed, someone owning a firearm. That's their personal preference, but I'm going to share my stance on it and why I would never want to own a gun. I can easily, because of course, as most of you are aware, I was a civil servant. I was in Her Majesty's Army for 6 years. And of course, you tend to be approved more if you've been in the service. So my thoughts on the whole gun licensing and, my stance on it. Personally, I don't have a problem with someone wanting to own a firearm legally and, bearing arms. That's really their prerogative. I personally don't have an issue with that. And, a lot of people, they tend to want to think, oh, you're a woman, what do you know about these things? I know what I'm talking about, guys. I know about guns. I had to handle a lot of weapons, rifles, you name it. I had to learn about these weapons. You had to learn the names, their specification, what they can do, you name it. So I know about guns. I'm not just a woman talking about something that I do not know. I have experience and I have had to fire them a lot, which at first was a bit, it wasn't the greatest first experience. I was terrified, guys, because, they used to show us videos of people having accidents with the guns and so on. So I was terrified. And then when I started to learn to fire it, it was okay for me. So I don't have a problem with someone wanting to be licensed to carry. I, on the other hand, personally, I would never want to own a weapon. There's too much complications that comes with it, and I don't want to have anything to do with something that takes a life. I know, yes, guns don't kill people. People kill people. I understand that, but there's so many accidents that goes on with guns, and it draws a lot of attention to you. That's just my opinion. A lot of negative attention. I can remember when I visited Jamaica. So this is like I just completed my basic training and I visited Jamaica, and there were people asking me, there were individuals coming up to me asking me if I own a gun. And I'm not stupid, guys. I knew what that was leading to. They were basically sussing me out, scoping me out to see if I have a weapon so they can come and steal it and probably try to take my life. But these things go, guys. Once you have something, when it comes down to gun in Jamaica, people just see as a target and they want to take it from you or whatever. But that's not the main issue. Personally, I just don't like the thing. I know it takes someone to take it up and shoot someone, but again, that's an individual's preference. And this is not because I'm a woman. I know guys who would never own one because there's so many, You know, especially when you have children, there's so many things that can happen. I don't think I need a gun to be safe, because if someone's gonna kill you, I don't think a gun can save me, because I, for one, I don't want to do what guns are supposed to do. If you have a gun, you have to be willing to use it, because of course someone's gonna come to kill you, you're gonna have to defend yourself. That's not something that I want. I don't want to be in that position. I just have to trust. I understand the world is what it is. But you know, I see a lot of people with guns and it didn't save their lives. So at the end of the day, for me, I don't want to be I don't want to own one. Even when I was in the military and I had to handle guns, it wasn't the most glamorous experience. I had to do what I had to do. It was my job. And don't ask me if I've ever killed anyone, because I will not answer that. You know, I'll never answer that. So at the end of the day, for me it was my job, but it wasn't the most glamorous. Now on to people owning guns in Jamaica, and if I think owning a gun will save your life, I personally think it makes you more of a target, especially where you live. So it depends on where you live. I would say owning a gun is sensible. I come from a very, very rough area. So again, I wouldn't advise someone living in an inner city to own one, because that will make you a target. They want to come for you for it. I know it's dangerous, I know whatever, but you probably stand a better chance, because at the end of the day, let's be realistic, guys. Let's just be realistic. There's no way you're gonna use that firearm on someone that comes to take it from you in a ghetto, and you're gonna be able to stay there. We can talk about imaginary things, about what we should do. There's what we should do and what we can do. A lot of people would tell you that they're not for the negativity, they're not for these criminals, but if they should stand up, especially with these corrupt system, and you know, you can't trust the system really, you know, there's a lot of people that will tell you that most of the times is when they move out, they can speak up about these things that are happening, and then they can't just boldly speak out because someone's gonna want to come. You know, the ignorance of criminals, the ignorance, and they don't feel like you can express yourself. So that's just really why I wouldn't advise someone to want to own a gun in the inner city. It just makes you a target. And at the end of the day, even if you use it, are you going to be able to stay there? You know, it's one of those complicated decisions. But personally for me, I don't want one. I don't want to own one because I'm not willing. I don't want to be put in that position where I have to use it. And I personally I just don't like guns. I don't like it. I just use it because I have to use it. I trust in my God. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be stupid and put myself in harm's way. I just know that gun causes too much destruction. And yes, it's the man that uses it. But before guns, we had cutlass and all of that. Yes, people used to die, but not as frequently. And you used to have a greater chance of living when someone chops you up. I don't know. I think there's a certain sort of spirit that comes with a gun. I can tell you because a lot of people would tell you that when they have one, they feel a certain sort of power. They feel invincible. So I think it has a certain sort of spirit that comes with it. But it's really up to individuals if they want to own a gun. And at the present moment, people are trying to own it. So now on to the second story I want to highlight, which is about the FLA, the Firearm License Agency. Basically, they're basically clamping down on those allowed to bear arms. So if you've committed any domestic violence against your partner, then you won't be able to acquire a firearm, which I am definitely in agreement with. But there's a complication of you can't really read a man's thoughts. So how you'll have people that seem okay, sane and stuff, and they own a firearm and they'll use it. A lot of women die from it. A lot of women get gets killed, you know, when their partner gets upset, etc. And people didn't see it coming. So it's one of those tricky situations where you don't really know when someone's gonna strike. But I think, you know, having this in place where you don't allow the individual who's had history when it comes on to violence, then I am definitely in agreement with that, because gun control is one of the greatest issue, the biggest issue right now. You see, gun is such a tricky thing, you know, and, you know, even though I shared my opinions and my views on it, I understand why people want to bear arms, but it's just one of my bugbears, you know, because guns give people, you know, some men, they feel so superior. It's like some men experience superiority when they have it. They don't have control, and they tend to just do whatever they want to do. And because they have a gun, they feel like they are the same way you see those with illegal firearm. It's the prowess that they get from it. So it's to each his own. I just share my thoughts on it. I don't have a problem with someone wanting to own one. My personal thing is, you know. So guys, now on to the whole suicide situation taking place in Jamaica. I saw the article in the Gleaner where they're speaking about providing more counseling, and also the fact that they believe the suicide rate where children are concerned is triggered by COVID-19 and the whole lockdown. Really? Come on. That doesn't make no sense to me. I cannot see kids being off school, being home, being able to play more, being able to be free. I cannot see that triggering suicide. I don't see how COVID-19 I don't see how it ties in. I don't see how it's linked to what we're seeing happening. Now, think about it. You're talking about children, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. I'm just looking at back then. I know 2020 is mad, but this is not just 2020. This has been happening for a while now. I'm just looking back when I was a child and things that I'm focusing on. Even when your parents beating you, you're not thinking to go kill myself because my parents are beating me, or you're not thinking to go kill yourself because I'm sad. I mean, this just doesn't make sense. I mean, personally, there's more to it. I'm not saying there's anything sinister or none of that, but I think it needs to be investigated closer. You know, there must, in my opinion, be something where that child is undergoing at their home, that would push them to do such a thing. Because when you think about it, committing suicide takes a lot of thinking. I mean, a child's brain at that age is not even that developed to rationalize. I know there's a lot of TV, and that's what I would put it down to, where they would even understand how to even take their own lives. I understand that there's a lot of YouTube, but I understand there's a lot of content out there, that even cartoons that would teach children how to do that. There's a lot of things that children are learning, but a child, that just seems a bit, it's a lot. When it comes on to saying you're going to kill yourself at that age. Yeah, so personally, it is a bit more to it. You know, it just to think about a child rationalizing, knowing that, it freaks me out. You know, it doesn't make much sense that a child's mind, I'm not saying it's not possible, but yeah, that's a bit borderline when you think about it. It's worrying, it's troubling, you know, what kids are thinking about these days. And it just seems a bit dodgy. It's a little bit dodgy what we're seeing, so many children taking their own life. It's a little bit dodgy, and I'm not going to just put it down straight to, oh, the kids are doing this. Because when I was growing up, I had no clue about suicide. I had no idea that was an option for me. So, trust me, guys. And a lot of times, I'm telling you, it may sound crazy, but a lot of infiltration, demonic influence is coming through these television. A lot of demonic teachings are coming through social media for children. You have to be careful where you allow your children to watch. I'm telling you, there's a game in the UK called Minecraft. Yeah? So whilst I'm not eliminating that it might be sometimes, the abuse that the child is going through at the home, I can tell you guys that in the UK, it's been happening where kids are taking their lives. There's a particular game called Minecraft in the UK. For me, it doesn't seem normal. When I see children watching that game, they're fixed like this. They're not moving. They're not doing anything. They're fixed. They're quiet. They don't speak. And they're like in a trance, guys. And the game, there's not much to the game, which makes it even worse. Just throwing that out there. Not even going to go deeper into it. I just know that there's a lot of demonic influence through television and through social media where children are concerned and what they're watching. It is what it is. People don't want to believe. That's fine. I'm not going to even go into it because people are just going to think, oh, that's ridiculous. But just be wary. Yeah, a lot of kids, a lot of games are teaching them to do certain things. But this whole suicide thing is just very smutty. But I know as well that some of these things that the kids are watching as well, teaching them certain things. So guys, that's really it. The roundup. Let me know what you think, Share your thoughts and your comments. Please do remember to give this video a thumbs up, guys. Share, you know the drill, guys. And thank you for your continued support. And if you love my content, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Until next time, guys. Godspeed. Bye.